Yo! Welcome into the Phoenix Sports Podcast, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review. As I just said on the Bet Show, in the words of Bomani Jones, leave us a 4-star review. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. I'm Shawn DePaz. That is not Michaela Perkins. That is Anthony Totri, because Mac is still busy at Radio Row for the Super Bowl. Totri, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Got KD, got Rihanna, got the Super Bowl.
You got Rihanna?
Yeah, I got Rihanna. I bagged her. It is what it is. Sorry,
Props.
Drake.
Sorry, Drake. Drake is over. Drake's moved on.
Can we, real quick?
She got a baby with ASAP.
Drake's best music came when Rihanna was with somebody else.
Drake is an all-time bag fumbler.
That's true.
Is the king bag fumbler. He dated SZA and Rihanna, and I don't need to extend the list.
Serena Williams?
Yeah. Serena, your husband, a groupie. So we got a lot to talk about. A lot of baseball, a lot of hockey, a lot of football, maybe some soccer. Nothing really happening on the basketball front.
No, not at all.
So before we get into all of that, we got to tell you about the fine folks over at Four Peaks. Listen. Drake said there's a lot of Drake early on this show. You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. And we started in the morning. Me, Leah, and Damon were all, yeah, there you go. Yeah. He's going to our fridge full of Four Peaks beer. He's got some catching up to do because I'm already on number 2. Oh, no, I'm not. That's a bold-faced lie. Grab me a second, please. This is number 1. Leah, there's Leah with her Four Peaks. We're on it. And if you want to be on it, check out Four Peaks. Oh, look at that. Hand delivered. Ice cold. Wow Wheat genuinely is the best beer. And if you don't believe me, believe the people, because they are Arizona's number 1 wheat beer, Wow Wheat. And there's so much going on this month. Head over to the Four Peaks 8th Street Pub. They've got the best food on the planet, the best beer on the planet, some of the best vibes on the planet.
You ready?
Crisp. Gotta love that. And you gotta love Four Peaks. If you haven't had a chance to try Arizona's number 1 wheat ale in Wow Wheat yet, come on down to Old Town Boondocks, which I love as a place just in general. Before the Four Peaks, add Four Peaks in, it's gonna be magic. But come down to Old Town Boondocks for the Tailgate Time Machine tomorrow, Saturday, February 11th. You could try Four Peaks' newest innovation, packed full of Arizona citrus flavor, perfect for light drinking in the desert sun or for getting through your day job. Wow. Get it in you, but as always, you must be 21 or older to enjoy responsibly. And now I'm realizing that I set Totri up for failure.
No, you didn't. You're just a dog. It is what it is. While we're talking about dogs, Four Peaks a dog, Drake's a dog, Rihanna's a dog. Let's get an underdog fantasy, guys. We talk all the time about how easy it is to get started. Go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with promo code PHNX, and Underdog is going to match your first deposit up to 100 bones. And while we're talking about Underdog Fantasy, they got some Super Bowl boosters that y'all should know about. So choose correctly. If Pat Mahomes will have higher or lower than 314.5 total yards to increase your maximum payout from 20 times to 30 times if you get all 5 of your pick'ems correct. Or you can make a really tough choice to decide if Jalen Hurts is going to have higher or lower than half a total yard.
That's a tough one.
Higher, lower, half total yard, man. I don't know.
Leaning towards the lower, but it's gonna be a close one.
You never know, guys. Again, Underdog Fantasy, easy to get started. Go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with promo code PHNX, and them boys are gonna match your first deposit up to $100.
Give me the higher on everything Miles Sanders rush yards. I'm here for it. I think the Eagles are gonna run all over the Chiefs. But regardless, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be more fun because of the Underdog Fantasy app.
I wish I could bet higher or lower number of drinks that I'm going to consume over the weekend.
What would the line be set at?
I think 12.5.
Okay, yeah. You can enjoy 12.5 beers responsibly over one weekend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Over the weekend, for 100%.
Sure. Well, it was a little chillier outside than I expected this morning, but still, it's getting a little toasty here in the valley, if you know what I mean, which means it is time for a valley temperature check. Let's do it. You look really good there, Totri.
Yeah, we do. We look phenomenal. I'm be honest, I am Michaela Perkins. I just shape-shifted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Concerning.
It'd be a cool superpower.
Yeah, it would be a cool superpower if I had it. I don't like the idea of other people being able to shapeshift and deceive me.
You just haven't figured out what your superpower is quite yet.
It's being cute.
That's a hell of a power, man.
I just winked at the camera. Calm down, all y'all watching at home.
Getting everybody hot and bothered on a Friday morning, man. What are we
better
doing?
a Friday than a Monday. That's what I always say. All right, so we got to start in the obvious place. The Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on. They do not have a head coach yet, and that's the end of that conversation. But a guy that used to be a part of the Arizona Cardinals, Kliff Kingsbury, we learned shortly before the show, is not gallivanting around Southeastern Asia for the rest of his life. He's apparently back in the States, and he is talking with DeMeco Ryans and the Houston Texans about possibly joining their coaching staff. Totri, what are your initial reactions to that?
Do you want my honest opinion? Yeah. Okay.
Of course, that's what we're here for.
I think if the Texans want to continue to be mediocre, hiring Kliff Kingsbury is a great option for your offensive coordinator spot. My God, if you learned nothing watching the Arizona Cardinals offense, I would argue over the last year and change, then they're bad. My goodness. The Arizona Cardinals offense was nothing but bubble screens and a miserable rushing attack, which Kyler Murray couldn't even get going. I mean, hey, DeMeco Ryans, I love him as a coach. I love him as a linebacker. I think it's going to be a great fit, but I would literally choose anybody else to run my offense than good old Kliff.
Is it confirmed that he was talking for the OC job, or was it just that he was potentially talking about joining the staff? Because if it's an OC, my opinion changes on it a little bit, but I was thinking, maybe a little more like quarterback coach, and you know how I feel about my guy Kliff. Head coach, absolutely not. I want no interest. He should never be running an NFL team again. But you look at his track record with quarterbacks, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like you look at the college quarterbacks he had, a lot of them became pros. One of them is in the Super Bowl. His name is Patrick Mahomes. I know what you're going to say. All I'm saying is that there is a track record of him coaching really good quarterbacks in college. If he's a quarterback coach for the Texans, where he isn't responsible for calling plays or really developing the offense, really just developing, presumably Bryce Young, maybe C.J. Stroud, maybe Anthony Richardson.
Will Levis?
No, stop. Will Levis is not going to the Texans. Then again, Baker Mayfield was drafted first overall.
Let's not forget Brandon Weeden was a thing too.
Yeah, so anything's possible, I suppose. I think he could be a great fit there. If he is the quarterback coach, I think he could be a great quarterback coach with a young quarterback. But if it is for the OC job, I don't know how I feel about that. I think it could be okay. The problem that I have, I guess, I think Kliff could be a great OC on a team with an offensive-minded head coach. I don't know how I feel about him being an OC on a team with a defensive-minded head coach where he probably is going to be left to his own devices with the offense. Like people are saying in the chat, like you said, the offense with the Cardinals these last few years has been rather uninspiring. And so I would not want him as offensive coordinator. But ultimately, who cares?
Yeah,
I don't care about the Texans, and I don't care if they're good or bad. It would be fun if they were good. And I don't really necessarily wish poorly for Kliff, but
Kliff and Jeffree Star need to get back on the private jet and get back to Taiwan.
It's funny you say that because I saw that picture and I was like, that's got Kliff ankles. Those are Kliff ankles.
Those are Kliff ankles.
This guy like the tight sweatpants, no socks, Kliff ankles. It would be cool. My thing is I don't want him to ruin whatever quarterback's career they have, which I think he could do if he's the offensive coordinator. But if he's a quarterback coach, I think it could go well. Before we move on from the Cardinals, like I said, they still don't have a coach. With who's left, do you have a guy in mind?
Oh, man, with who's left? I mean, they're losing assistants left and right, too.
Yeah, that's true. I'm still on the Vance Joseph train.
You're on the Vance Joseph train.
By, I guess, lack of options. I just, at this point, I feel like they're getting to a point where they're just kind of being like, oh, I guess whoever's left. No, Vance Joseph, he going somewhere else?
No, but didn't they tell him no?
Yeah, they did tell him no.
Yeah, I believe there's only a handful of guys left. And by handful, I mean like 2 or 3. I think they're waiting for Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
The Eagles DC. I don't know necessarily if you're going to be able to get him. I think he's happy in Philly.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm the Arizona Cardinals and if I'm the Cardinals fans, I'm absolutely rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Because if they win the Super Bowl, then I think Jonathan Gannon has accomplished everything that he needs to do as a DC, and he can take that next step and become a head coach and have, aspirations to win a Super Bowl as a head coach. Now, if the Chiefs win, I think if I'm Gannon, I think there's a lot of talk about let's run it back.
Yeah, that's fair. That's completely fair. Sly, always the hardball enthusiast. I don't think Harbaugh is coming anytime soon. But that's fun to think about. Surprised that we didn't hear any Eric Bieniemy tossed around like at all in this coaching cycle. I'm just surprised his name, like the last few years, his name always gets tossed around. Didn't hear anything of that. I still think Leslie Frazier deserves a job. He's done such a good job with the Bills defense the last few years. I understand that he did not have a great, he hasn't had a great run as a head coach when he has had that opportunity, but I just think he has done a really good job. He deserves another chance.
There's also, I feel like, fewer openings this year than normal.
Yeah, very fair. Very fair. We'll see. Time will tell. Moving on to what is actually most important.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Oh, yeah.
Book it right now. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the answer as to why Eric Bieniemy isn't getting any love in terms of head coaching candidates. It's because Andy Reid's going to win the Super Bowl and shock the nation and retire, and Eric Bieniemy is going to be promoted as the head coach.
That is a dream scenario if you were Eric Bieniemy, in my opinion. I don't think it could go any better than that. I like the thought of it. Like I said, we're going to have to stay tuned and watch to see what happens. I have to imagine. I forget who it was. I think it was a rap sheet. Made a good point talking to Bo the other day that, Bidwell is hosting the Super Bowl right now. Yeah. He's got a lot going on. Probably wants to wait until after to make the hire, so I'm not that concerned that they haven't made it yet. But like I said, moving on to what is actually the most important in the Valley. Obviously, we're talking round ball. Baseball. Duh.
Round ball.
World Baseball Classic rosters officially released yesterday, and they'll go a little more in depth on this on the PHNX D-backs show at 1 o'clock, so make sure you stay locked in our YouTube. Watch that. But there were a number of Arizona Diamondbacks headed to the World Baseball Classic to represent their respective countries. I believe we have the graphic and we want to throw it up. Yeah, there's a lot of them, namely Ketel Marte playing for the Dominican Republic, which is a stacked roster. Merrill Kelly pitching for Team USA, which is also a stacked roster. Alec Thomas down in Mexico, or playing for Mexico. Manuel Rivera playing for Puerto Rico, and then a number of guys throughout the system that are playing. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. There's obviously games here. I'm really interested in seeing the Mexico atmosphere. Not a whole lot to talk about here other than the fact that it's cool to see a number of guys here. I'm curious, have you ever gotten the opportunity to go to like an international sporting event, like country versus country?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have, to be honest with you, but I think the cool thing about this and just international sporting events in general is it like everybody in the U.S., I feel like you have a rival when it comes to your sport, right? Whether it be football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever. It does not matter when you get to the international level. It's almost like I don't want to say it's like war.
But it's kind of like war. It's a great unifier. It's a great unifier. You saw it with the World Cup. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to get all deep. Very divided country. Blah blah blah. Whatever. But you saw during the World Cup, everyone there was a general sense of patriotism and caring about being American and stuff like that. And I do think international sports do that. It becomes something bigger than kind of the qualms that Americans have amongst themselves. It becomes, it's America versus the world, which has kind of been the mentality of people in this country forever, for better or worse. So I'm very fascinated. The only international sporting event I've ever been to is the World Juniors, World Hockey Juniors. I know Leah is jealous of me, but I've been fortunate enough to live in Buffalo where they've hosted a number of them, and I got to see it. And it is much lower stakes. They're amateurs. It's not World Baseball Classic where it's essentially the World Cup of soccer, of baseball, but it is still, seeing young guys represent their country, and it's amazing. Just seeing the passion that people have for their countries. Yeah. It's fascinating. And it's also interesting in this sense. A lot of American fans or Mexico fans, depending on, obviously there's a lot of proud Mexican people in the Valley. Yeah. You will root against your players. Like in Mexico, U.S., for example, you're either rooting for the U.S., you're rooting for Merrill Kelly, rooting against Alec Thomas, or the other way around. I find that fascinating. Obviously, there's games right here at Chase Field this year for the World Baseball Classic next month. So make sure you check them out. Don't have a full ad read for them, but obviously if you're going to get your tickets, get them on the Game Time app, link in the description. You know the vibes. Yeah, I'm very excited to. I know you're not a big baseball person, but I want to get you out to one of these. I feel like it'll be fun.
I'm not a giant baseball person. I don't know what it is, man. I just never grew up going to spring training and doing all that stuff. But I mean, now that I'm back in Arizona, I feel like it's time. It's time to become a little bit of a baseball fan. And just saying with the D-backs, man, like they're on the up and up.
And even if they weren't, you know what I like doing and what makes going to baseball games an even more fun experience? Well, money, yes.
Money and
THC. And not just fucking, I'll get there in a second, Musab. Not just any THC, but OG's THC infused gummies. And they're not just gummies. It's like a vibe. It's like a whole thing going on, and you can go get any gummy. Sure, you might get high, whatever. A, they're not going to taste as good, and B, you're probably going to feel all groggy and stuff in the morning. I know you're a big OG's guy.
Yeah.
And you take them to help you sleep, and you wake up and you feel fresh.
Absolutely, dude.
Listen, I've said it before. I smoke a lot of weed. It's just a fact of the matter. When I smoke, though, I feel shitty in the morning.
Yeah.
Can't say the same about OGs.
And you got like the taste in your mouth almost. Too.
Yes, you can taste. You don't taste it. Like I've said on a number of occasions, OGs, if the non-medicated ones that we get sometimes just to try them, genuinely some of the best candy I've ever had. But don't eat them like candy. Eat them responsibly.
Bro, if you ate OGs like candy, the closest thing that we ever got to eating OGs like candy was a couple weekends ago. And I took 2 OGs and that had me...
ascended.
Yes, I was...
the video that I texted y'all last night.
Yeah.
I know it's bad audio because none of y'all know what I'm talking about. But it was...
I knew all.
I knew all. OGs took Totri to another planet, so eat them responsibly. I love the orange creamsicle, but they have their new strawberry and cream CBD, THC, 1-to-1, happy balance. It's a complete vibe. You want to talk helping you sleep? It's going to get you some of the effects that you like of getting high, but it's also going to kind of mellow you out, make you feel calmer. Hopefully, maybe help with some of the, if you are a kind of person that gets paranoid or anxious when you smoke, that CBD might help counteract that. So check them out. But as always, you must be 21 plus to enjoy. Check them out at ogsbrands.com. And while you're high, or whether you want to, whether you're sober or high,
bet on the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Bet on the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Especially this weekend with the Super Bowl right around the corner. Guys, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PHNX. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for more details. I don't know about you, Shawn, but I feel like as of late, over the last week when it comes to betting, I've been like this close. I've been this close to hitting big. And Damon had sent me a video earlier in the week, and I like sort of like the video that you sent in the group chat earlier where you're like, damn, like I feel that. He sent me a video where it's like, I don't know what to do, right? The parlays, I'm hitting bets, right? I'm getting like 3, 4, 5, 6 legs in the green, and then there's just the one, right? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do tomorrow when your parlay doesn't hit tonight? You're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to run it back. You're going to do it all over because 99% of bettors quit right before they win big, guys. Just saying, 99%. Don't be in that 99%. Keep betting on that DraftKings.
You know what Wayne Gretzky said. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Is that him or Michael Scott?
Both. Yeah. Me too. Before we move on to the topic, I got it. Shout out Chris because he complimented my jersey, and he's also a fellow Western New York / upstater. I appreciate you defending the city of Buffalo. Buffalo, Phoenix, top 2 cities in the world.
In the world.
Paris, who? Rome, who?
Yo, what are you talking about? You're gonna name your daughter Paris.
That's true. It's a great name.
Yeah. We should get into that. We named Shawn's firstborn daughter.
Paris DePaz. Tell me that doesn't go crazy.
That does go absolutely insane.
I'm just saying. Buffalo is a great city. Phoenix is an even greater city in a lot of ways.
Or Dina.
And
Dina DePaz?
No. Is this the Flintstones? Anyways, part of the reason why Phoenix is one of the best cities in the world is because we have one of the best basketball players in the world. Yes,
That's
we're finally
true.
talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Durant is a Phoenix Sun.
Let's go.
Before we get too into that,
damn,
it all started, was it Wednesday? Mat Ishbia took over.
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning, Mat Ishbia takes over as majority owner of the Phoenix Suns. And it was awesome. Like it was hearing him talk about the team, what he wants, talks about bringing back a G League team so that the Suns potentially having a G League team. Just kind of talked about what he visualizes for this franchise, and interestingly talked about how he had a lot of confidence in the team that they had and didn't necessarily feel as though they needed to make any moves. But
liar.
Obviously, it's pretty easy to be you have your opinion kind of influenced of Mat Ishbia right now.
Yeah.
But in general, trying to take yourself out of the KD situation. What do you think about the Mat Ishbia taking over? What do you think that can mean for the franchise?
My goodness. I think it is an absolute blessing. I know they said it, I think, on the Suns show before, is there are a lot of sports franchises that people go their entire lives watching and rooting for that are just run by poor ownership for such a long period of time.
Looking
and
at
they
you,
never,
Washington Commanders.
They absolutely never get over the hump. And part of that is because of the philosophy of the owner.
Yeah.
And we all know about Robert Sarver, right? Everybody's talked about Robert Sarver. So I'm going to take a low blow here.
Oh, no.
I am.
I know. I said, oh, no, because I spilled beer all over myself.
Oh, no. Oh,
no.
you did spill beer all over yourself.
That's okay. You
That's
keep talking
tragedy.
about Robert Sarver.
Robert Sarver, if you're watching this podcast, you suck. I would also like to say that your son sucks. I went to high school with him, and he's a big dummy just like you. So that's really all I got to say about Robert Sarver. He's just bad, man. He's a bad owner. He's a bad person. And karma's a bitch, man.
Yeah.
It do be coming around, though.
No, yeah, it's maybe a hot take. Fuck Robert Sarver. He's a piece of shit. Oh, thank you so much, Leah. You are not a piece of shit. You're a tremendous person.
She is.
She just hand-delivered me napkins so I can clean myself up from the wonderful wow that I just unfortunately wasted by spilling on myself. But Robert Sarver, you suck. You're a shitty person. Fuck you. I hope I never hear your name again. Ishbia, you almost messed it up. Because the Isaiah Thomas rumors were concerning, but you did the right thing. And you didn't hire him. But no, I'm 100% with you. It is awesome to kind of just change a new leaf. And, I don't know about the ownership history of your team, so I can't speak to them. Bills and Sabres have gone through a very similar thing, not in the sense that they had necessarily problematic owners, but they've had a bunch of owners who just, like you said, didn't necessarily have the right philosophy to run a team. They get bought by the Pagulas, and now the Sabres and the Bills are in some of the best places they've been as a franchise in recent history. The ownership means a lot, and I think you've seen that with the Suns.
You want to know, how you can meet somebody and you're like, I don't really know what to think about you. Mm-hmm. The best way to tell what kind of person somebody is, in my personal mind, seeing how they raise their kids.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
No, I agree with you.
Way big throwback. 2016, I'm sitting in advanced English.
Oh boy.
Okay, and we got Robert Sarver's kid. Okay,
I did not expect to be talking about Sarver's kids.
Who was the governor of Arizona?
Ducey. The old one. Yeah. Ducey.
And then Ducey's kid also in that class. They both suck. To be honest, sorry, Doug Ducey's family's taking strays out now too.
I'm not complaining about it.
They're just the type of kids, right? That you want to raise your kids respectful of everybody,
especially when you are rich.
And there is this sweet old lady teaching advanced English, and they're the type of kids that are going out of their way almost to poke fun or make fun of the English teacher.
Too cool for school.
For what? For what are you doing? No. Why are you doing this? And that points less on the kids, more on the way that their parents raised them. So 100%. Robert Sarver, you're a piece of shit. Owner and father. There you go.
Robert Sarver, go fuck yourself. But yeah, getting clapped from Resto in the back. This is I feel pretty comfortable making a blanket statement for all of PHNX and saying this is an anti-Robert Sarver organization. Yes. Anyways, that's not what we're here about. We're done talking about that guy. Ishbia is the guy. Like I said, I just think it's so important that they're able to kind of turn over a new leaf. And he clearly is ready to invest in the team.
Yeah. I mean, just look at what he did. Can we finally get into that?
What did he do?
He decided that, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and get the best player in the NBA.
Yes. So if you've been living under a rock for the last few days, Wednesday night, we have a nice little get-together at Illegal Pete's.
Yeah, walk us through the scene
Next
for you.
day is trade deadline. We're getting ready, having one last, nice night, all hanging out before the next day. We're ready. It might be a little hectic. There might be trades going on, whatever. Go home after the night. Everybody, it seems, in this company was like, I'm finally going to get to bed at a reasonable time. Everybody was like, it's pre-midnight. I'm actually going to be in bed. It was it was 11 o'clock. I was getting ready. I was shutting my computer off, going to bed. Totri calls me, and I'm like, nah. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm not answering.
Which kind of hurts.
I'm sorry. I was ready to go to bed. And I figured whatever it was could wait until the morning. I was wrong, because the next thing I did was open up Twitter, and what do I see? First thing I see is a giant picture of Kevin Durant in a Suns jersey. And I think, oh my God, 11:05, I believe exactly, we get this tweet from Shams, the Drip King. Not that one.
That'd be crazy if he tweeted that.
That would be crazy. I wouldn't hate it. The Phoenix Suns are closing in on a trade to acquire 13-time All-Star, NBA All-Star Kevin Durant from the Brooklyn Nets. And sure enough, they did. They traded away Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jae Crowder, 2023, 25, 27, and 29
bunch of
first-round
high schoolers
picks.
right now.
Middle schoolers even. And a 2028 pick swap, I believe. It was a lot, but it is for one of the greatest players of all time. First question I have, and I put
TJ
this
Warren.
out. And TJ Warren, sorry. No disrespect.
No.
to
TJ Warren and then
Kevin Durant. The greatest player of all time, TJ Warren, and
then
Kevin Durant.
yeah,
you're right. First question I want to ask, I tweeted this out the other night. Can you overpay for a top 5 player in the NBA? Was there too much?
No. And you could argue that the Timberwolves paid more or gave up more.
Yeah.
In the whole Rudy Gobert debacle.
For sure.
So I don't think so. I don't think all this does is it expands your window, right? Your championship window. And like, I get sacrificing the future and all of that, but like you win one ring, it takes care of it all, right? Like that's what you do this for, right? Is you trade away some of these assets to go get a guy like Kevin Durant. He expands your championship window. You could argue that he even opens it for a team that was maybe on the back end of a championship window.
Yeah.
So I love it. I think it's a phenomenal deal. Obviously, it sucks to lose guys like Mikal
100%.
and Cam. And we talked about this just in the office yesterday. Like, it sucks for a lot of the players, DA, Mikal, Cam, like whatever, because of course they want to win a chip.
Yeah.
But they believe that they could have won a chip with Mikal, with Cam.
Yeah. And I mean, if things had fallen right, they definitely could have. But I mean, this puts them.
Yeah, this is different. That's why it hurts, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, everybody's excited that they've got Kevin Durant.
Yeah, and
but
it's obviously made worse. Like if they had traded away 3 Jae Crowder personalities, it would have been whatever.
Yeah.
But they traded away, I would argue, 2 guys who might have been the most loved athletes in the Valley, outside of like Devin Booker.
Definitely top 5.
Yeah, like 2 of the most likable people ever, and so that part certainly sucks.
I'm glad they went together though.
Yeah, so am I. People are treating them like orphans or like kittens. They're like, I'm just so happy they didn't get separated. It's like, I mean, I guess so am I, but it's just so weird how people talk about it.
It's funny. It's funny.
But yeah, I mean, I can't help but bring it up. The PHNX Coyote show had Bill Armstrong on a couple weeks ago, and it's something he talked about when he was working for the St. Louis Blues. They traded away Tage Thompson to the Buffalo Sabres for Ryan O'Reilly and other like picks and stuff. But Tage Thompson right now is one of the best players in hockey, and I'm not being a biased Sabres fan. He's genuinely one of the best players in hockey. He's not being
biased.
Thank you, Leah. He's one of the best players in hockey. But the St. Louis Blues won a ring, and he said, that's what you do it for. Like you can live with giving up good players if you win the ring. That's all this is about.
It's a business. The entire point of this is to go win a championship, which is something the Phoenix Suns haven't done. Have they ever won a chip?
No. And I mean, the reality is I understand people get worried about mortgaging the future and whatever.
Dude, fuck the future. Live in the present, man. Go win a chip.
I love Mikal and Cam Johnson. They're not Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Like that, the dynasties don't happen very often. So even if you kept them, the chances that you won more than one ring anyways is probably pretty low. So at this point, you might as well make the move that gets you closer.
Yeah,
obviously, there's depth concerns, whatever. But you have one of the best players ever, and you can't. Sly says you can't average 27 points while you're injured, but you can while you're healthy.
That's true.
It reminds me of when the Toronto Raptors got rid of DeMar DeRozan and brought in Kawhi
for a year.
1 year, and I'm a big Raptors fan. I was so devastated, but they won, and it was so worth it. It was so worth it. And now, the Toronto Raptors don't even know where they stand right now, but it doesn't matter because they won in 2019.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a great point. It's just kind of how this stuff works.
And you look at the basketball side of this, right? And I was listening when I was watching the emergency pod that the Suns crew did that night. Something that I didn't really think about, just on the court, right? Everyone's like, KD immediately championship window, we're gonna win it all. But what this does for Devin Booker, what this does for DeAndre Ayton,
that's
for everybody,
for
right?
Paul, yeah.
So now you've got every team's best defender guarding Kevin Durant, which means every team's second best defender is on Devin Booker. And then, the third best defender just has to guard one of the greatest point guards of all time.
Like that's the thing. Chris Paul, he may be old, he may be washed. You leave that man open, you put your third best defender on him, he's gonna get his. And also, he has 3 guys now who are certified buckets. Well, 2 guys who are certified buckets and 1 guy who is like, depending on the day, can be a bucket. Chris Paul is going to get his too. Everyone is going to benefit from this. Like you mentioned, Devin Booker is going to have the second best defender on him. DeAndre Ayton is going to have the opportunity to fucking eat down low.
Yeah, which he's been eating lately.
Exactly. It's going to be. I am just so excited for it, and I don't think they're done. I think they are going to add a point guard from the buyout market, whether that's Reggie Jackson.
Bro, can you imagine
Russell Westbrook?
Can you imagine? That would be a vibe, that would be pretty disgusting.
That would be crazy.
That would be pretty disgusting.
You would have 3 guys on the team where if they ended their careers today,
certified Hall of Famers.
Certified Hall of Famers. Arguably 2 top 5 point guards all time on the team. Obviously, they're not right now, but arguably
people forget what Russ did in OKC.
Yeah. People also forget Brian bringing up or John Paul Edward Diaz bringing up TJ Warren. That man dropped 54 in the bubble. He dropped 54 in the bubble. He can get his at time too, and he's going to be the 5th best player on the court if he's in the starting lineup.
It's going to be disgusting.
It's going to
be disgusting.
And also, don't sleep on the Darius Bazley trade. I like that trade a lot. They got rid of Dario and a 2nd round pick, I believe, for Dario or for Darius Bazley. It's a guy that as I've mentioned on a number of occasions, have a little bit of personal history with. He was committed to Syracuse University.
Oh, my gosh.
As a 5-star recruit, I believe. He then opted to go to the G League. He was one of the first high-profile players to bypass college in the recent years.
He's only 22, bro.
But he's only 22.
That is amazing.
Man. And people, you talk about jeopardizing your future. You have a guy who was supposed to be a lottery talent. I believe he was drafted like 16th overall, something like that. So he's still drafted rather high. At 22 years old, like KD might leave in 2 years, whatever. Right. You have.
I don't think he does.
Future. I don't think he does either. But I'm just saying, the Darius Bazley trade, I think is being slept on as a sneaky, really, really good move, and I think you're going to see him as a part of this team for a while. But yeah, man.
Kevin Durant, I know this happened Wednesday, so this is like 2 days ago. But I will find myself throughout the day just being like, "Holy shit, Kevin Durant is a Phoenix Sun."
No, literally. There was
what?
Last year, I lost my mind a little bit yesterday. Leah can attest. There was times where I was just kind of laughing at nothing because
you were the Joker.
I lost it. I went full Joker. But there were times where I just sat there and I was like, "Damn,
Kevin Durant's a Sun.
Kevin Durant's a Phoenix Sun."
It happened.
It happened,
man. Like, you should be, even if you're like a just general basketball fan, right? And you don't actually follow the Phoenix Suns as much as maybe you follow the Cardinals or Arizona State or the Wildcats or whatever. Like, what Kevin Durant brings to the table is what J.J. Watt brought to the table for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Except Kevin Durant is still, I would argue, is still in his prime. When he is healthy, Kevin Durant
he can play
is still a top 5 basketball player in the
100%.
NBA.
He's averaging 30 points, I believe.
So imagine if the Arizona Cardinals had brought in J.J. Watt when he was still a top 5 defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
Like, what that does, not only for that team, but for the city, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this whole thing, I love Mat Ishbia and I love what he's already done. Kenny Dillingham did this. I'm just saying.
Activate the Valley, baby.
KD.
Yeah.
I keep raising my hand.
Yeah, you could just talk.
I know, but I have more to say. So, when you're driving and all of a sudden you come back into focus and you're like, how did I survive the last 5 minutes?
Yes.
That's been me with thinking about this Kevin Durant trade.
Yeah.
Where I just am like, is this real? What?
Yeah.
That is just the feeling that I keep getting every hour thinking about
I don't think it's going to be real until we see. It's not going to sink in until we see him in a Valley jersey.
Yeah, no, 100%. It is wild. Leah is exactly right. I kind of look up and I'm like, and it's not like Kenny or Katie's part of it, but I mean, in general, you look up and you're like, how did we get here? The D-backs are good. And
it's
Kliff
a great
is
time.
Gone.
It's a great time to be in the Valley, man.
Kevin Durant has got that Phoenix Sun. Oh, and Kenny Dillingham is doing all that. Oh,
got a 5-star quarterback.
5-star. And if you're of this persuasion, University of Arizona basketball,
pretty good,
pretty damn good. Men's
Coyotes
and
on the rise. Coyotes just need to win the draft lottery, and it's a perfect year.
Bro, if they win the lottery,
I will say, I know what their history is. This seems like the year of the Phoenix. This seems like the year of Phoenix. I'm feeling it. Connor Bedard's going to be an Arizona Coyote.
Isn't it the year of the rabbit?
No, it's the year of the Phoenix.
Okay.
Fuck them rabbits.
Fuck them rabbits?
Fuck them rabbits. Silly rabbit.
Silly rabbit tricks for kids.
Silly rabbit. Yeah. I'm just excited. I'm excited to see if they add a point guard. This team is...
Derek, I'm going to need you to get more energy, dude. I don't know like what it's just the vibe is over here.
Listen, I don't know what's happening either.
Have more energy. Kevin Durant's the son.
Even
Get fired up!
Even Espo, who has been on one the last like 48 hours, just looked at Totri and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
The Durantula is in Phoenix. Come on now.
What we give him before the
I don't know. We probably should have kept the 4 peaks until
It's what
after
happens
the show.
when we drink before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Espo.
5 Super Bowl parties.
Cry me a fucking river, Derek. You've had the party this week. You've had the party this week. You've had the
Dude,
party
what are we
this week.
doing?
Grab a 4 Peaks beer and shut up, Derek.
Okay. My show has gone off the rails, and I feel comfortable saying my show because I'm the only.
Oh, what are you talking about? I'm Michaela Perkins. I shapeshifted.
That's you're right. And
Get your shit together.
Leah is Shane / Jacob shapeshifter.
Kevin Durant is my son.
Kevin Durant is my dad. I'm excited for Kevin Durant to get out here. Is he a golfer? Do you know?
I don't know if he is, but I mean, I don't know how you cannot be a golfer when you got bad birdie, man.
Yeah, and plus you don't even have to be a golfer to drip down in bad birdie because they just got hella fun designs. And, you know, it's hot in here, KD. I know you haven't lived out here. I know you live in Texas, but it's different out in AZ. You're going to need some light, breathable, but stylish clothes. That's bad birdie for you.
I said nitty energy.
They just dropped 6 new polos, 3 new quarter zips, and 2 new hats. We've been rocking it. You were out with Management Open yesterday, rocking some bad birdie.
Bro, I got some color to me.
Yeah.
I think the bad birdie just attracts the good vibes, the sun. Everything under
attractive
the sun.
people.
Attractive people. It is what it is, man.
And ugly people. And average
bad
people.
birdie. You can't be ugly in bad birdie.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. They're beautiful. I don't know if Shane has gotten his hat yet. I'm from what I've heard the streets saying, the reason he hasn't been on the shows all week is I know we've been saying he's at Radio Row. He's actually been nonstop on the phones with the airline trying to get his bad birdie hat back because it's amazing. And if you want to get in on Bad Birdie, you can go to badbirdiegolf.com and use promo code PHNX_sports15. That's PHNX_sports15 for 15% off your next order at badbirdiegolf.com. It's the best golf apparel on the planet. As I like to say, Bad Birdie, get it on you. And it's funny that Chris is saying that he's getting Pulisic vibes from Totri because you both have the same tattoo.
We do. We both have
the tiger eyes.
Got the tiger eyes, man.
Yeah.
The mic's.
Yeah, that's fair. There we go. I love that. There's a picture of Pulisic doing that after he scored a goal, and it goes so crazy.
Antonio was here. Is that my alter ego?
Antonio, that's a new one. I love it. Why not? Bad Birdie goes crazy. Your tattoo / Christian Pulisic tattoo goes crazy. And so...
Spaghetti Shack. Spaghetti Shack goes crazy, guys. First off, shout out Spaghetti Shack. They catered food for us this past Monday. Holy, it's been a minute since I've had spaghetti.
Yeah, same. Because my mom always made me spaghetti. I don't do it here.
It was so good. The garlic bread smacks. The spaghetti by itself smacks. The meatballs smack. And you made yourself a little garlic bread meatball
that's
sub
the best part.
Day,
you take some of that garlic bread, you put some of the meatballs on it. Listen, I love spaghetti, but to me, the winner was the meatballs. Like that is, and listen, you're talking to 2 guys who are partially Italian. I think together we make up we're like one Italian.
I mean, I feel like I'm Italian, and then my name is Anthony, so that like boosts my Italianness.
Fact,
just a little bit.
Fact.
Like Tony, you know.
Hey, it's Antonio.
It's Antonio.
It's Tony. Totri. Hey, I'm walking here, and I'm walking the Spaghetti Shack.
There you go. There you go. And it's ASU alum. Owned and operated.
Yeah, you got a couple Sun Devils up here. For example,
hey,
I'm walking it.
Guys, the Spaghetti Shack, community focused to-go pasta concept started right here in Tempe, Arizona by 5 lifelong friends. So that's pretty much what's going to happen down the line. You, me, Shane, Leah.
We're starting this.
And then Damon. We're going to be starting.
We can't start a Spaghetti Shack. We'll get run out of business by the actual Spaghetti Shack.
Well, yeah, damn, you're right.
Well, maybe maybe they'll franchise it and we can
we
open
can
our
buy
own.
a franchise.
Yeah.
We could buy one.
I like
Guys, they're currently serving Tempe and Queen Creek. We hope that you guys go check them out because the spaghetti, take it from an Italian. It does smack.
Good thing to grab for your Super Bowl party, too.
Yes, it's cheap. It's like $18 to feed like 5 people. What are we doing? I spent $18 on one meal for myself. Anyways, check them out. Anything else before we get out of here?
Stay safe this weekend, guys.
Yeah, for
but
real.
have fun. Have a good time. Don't be like Derek Montilla. Have fun.
Don't lose your keys. We haven't talked about this. I cannot wait until all these people leave, dude.
Oh my.
Go
gosh.
home.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you're watching this show, I'm going to take these off. If you're watching this show and you're not from here, okay? And by from here, I mean Arizona. And you decided that you're going to show up for the Waste Management Open. You're going to show up for the Super Bowl. You're going to show up because KD's a Phoenix Sun. You're going to show up because Kenny Dillingham fucking told you to. Okay? Look me in the eyes. Go the fuck home. We don't want you here. Okay? Thanks. All the roads are closed in Phoenix. It takes me like 20 extra minutes to get home, and I live right across the street.
Downtown.
Like, guys, just watch the game from your home.
I had to break the law yesterday to get home. I had to commit an illegal U-turn because there's a road closed down. But don't snitch.
It's okay. I finally got my car registered.
Oh, good job.
Yeah,
So no tickets for you.
No tickets. And shout out the DMV because I didn't have any late fees.
Well, but the last one was in Indiana, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Arizona wouldn't charge you late fees for not for
still the government.
Yeah, but they're state governments. They don't. Who cares? That's not why we're here. We appreciate you coming. Well, I appreciate you. Do you appreciate them, Totri?
Of course.
Leah, do you appreciate
as long as you're not the reason that the roads are closed.
Yeah, if you're the reason that the roads are closed. Well, we appreciate you watching. We don't appreciate you clogging up our city.
Oh, one more thing.
What?
The most exciting part of KD coming to Phoenix is the fact that I guarantee you at some point he is going to have a burner YouTube account and be in the Suns chat.
Chat, yeah. He's
100%.
probably going to yell at Gerald at some point.
That's
so
fine.
stay locked in for that. Follow at PHNX Sports or PHNX_sports on Twitter. Stay locked in. Follow PHNX_Suns for all things Kevin Durant. They'll be live for their game tonight. I know someone asked it earlier. I don't know off the top of my head. I believe Devin Booker is playing. Yeah, he is. Yeah, because the only reason he sat was load management, and it was a back-to-back. So yeah. Well, the Suns are rising. It's the sunrise.
The rising sun.
Yeah, it's a great time to be in the Valley. Like I said, follow us PHNX_sports. Like, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, leave a 4-star review. I'm inclined to believe you're a hater, like I said earlier. You can follow me at Shawn_DePaz. You can follow him at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Leah at Leah Merrill.
If you enjoyed the vibes with this show, we'll be back. Same crew, 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Totri and I, right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube page for PHNX Sun Devils. It's time for the weekend.
Let's have a day.
Let's have a day. Let's have a weekend. I need it. Appreciate you again for tuning in. We'll be live next week, Friday, 12:30. Totri will shift back into Michaela Perkins, and it'll be the show will be.
No, I'm thinking I'm going to be Gerald next week.
Okay. Yeah, why not? That'll be fun. We should just put a different shape-shift to a different person each time. Anyways, we appreciate you for being here. Really, tap in, lock in, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we will see you next week on Friday. As Michaela would say. Bye.